So today we are going to discuss Beit, the second living letter or Hebraic alphabet, second alphabet. It's called Beit, and this is the ancient shape of the letter. And the modern they have changed it modern because they wanted to print it and they don't want to make it like this. I don't know whatever the reason, but they have changed it. Okay, the original one looks like this, and this is Beit. Now, Beit is, this is Beit, Yod, and Tau. And Beit is pronounced as, it's not pronounced as Ba, but the letter itself has a name. It's called Beit. And in that name, there are two more letters added to it. Combined, it becomes a Beit. So, Beit, Yod, this is Yod, and this is Tau. Okay. So the meaning of the Beit letter is house. Okay. Now we will see the law of first mention. In Genesis, I'm reading in English. In Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now here we see this word in Hebraic is Berashit. Okay. Bet, Resh, Yod, Shin, Ta, Yod and Tau. Okay. So this is Berashit, but Reshit, this Reshit is meaning of the Reshit is beginning. Okay. And then with Ba, God has mentioned before beginning a Ba, means Beit. Okay. So by this, what we can understand is when God wanted to create in the beginning, when he initiated beginning, he created with the intention that he will have a house or a family. Beit is a house, right? Beit is a house or a family. So the intention of his creation, even before creating, when he started, when he started something, it's a beginning. Before that, he was there. So in the beginning, Reshit started with B. That means intention from the beginning is to establish or create a house, create a family. So this should be a clear. So what happens is when we know this, God's intention is to start a family, is a house, then we will interpret everything what God says with that concept. See, our mind is very, I would not say fragile, but it's very different. Whatever you believe, and then whatever after when we have set of beliefs, and those set of beliefs will turn into a belief system. So after that, whatever you see, you hear, you read, you interpret everything according to your belief systems. So only it says you have to renew your mind. Okay. So we all have a belief system. Our belief systems are different and we have to accept it. Now when we understand this scripture Bereshit, that God in the beginning intended everything with the intention to create a house for him, create a family. Okay. Then when you have this into your belief system, then every interpretation that comes from the Bible, from other things, you will see differently. Okay. You will see as a family, you will see as a house. Now, Beit is Beit is this letter, and it has many meanings: house, family, house, family in peace with. But I'll tell you, see, these are the, let's say, Beit is a house which the ancients or the people who engage with it, and Hebraic, they believe it. But it's not limited to only what is still till now spoken. I believe as we engage it, we will also discover its attribute, its meaning may be different from what we already know. So this only, we have to continually engage with God and get a continual revelations, and we need to grow from glory to glory and, faith to faith. So why I'm saying this, because, many times when we are engaging, I am not speaking at all. Although I'm seeing, I'm engaging many things, I'm not speaking, because if I speak, that will be recorded and, that will limit its potential. So I will try my level best not to speak, not to give you everything that I know, but I want you to discover so that you will have, more understanding and the full understanding of it. So this is, and Yahweh's letter, family-oriented covenant. So Beit is basically a family-oriented intention and the covenant that God wanted to give. Now this Beit has, as we discussed, it has three letters. Okay, one is Beit, second is Yod, third is Tav. So by this, I can interpret, but I want you also to interpret. So my interpretation is, so God wanted to establish a house. And how he's going to establish a house? With Yod. Yod means hand. Okay. With his mighty hand, Tav is a covenant. Okay. Or cross. So God wants to establish his house through the covenant, through his sacrificial life on the cross. Okay. This is the intention that he wants to establish house. So to establish this house, God has to pay something. Okay. God has to sacrifice something. So always family, it involves sacrifice. Now let's come to yesterday, as we discussed, Psalms 119, that David, segregated this psalm into 22 portions, and each portions assigned a letter, a Hebrew letter. And with those letters, he wanted to, impart his son Solomon the principles of life. So under the Beit, it is 9 to 16, 8 scriptures, what it says. So I want you guys to, I'm already posted in the group, I want you guys to meditate it, try to meditate as much as possible so that you can glean fullness of it. So I'm going to read it. Psalm 119:9, it says, I have changed many of words. Okay, means I have changed the grammar, not the words. I just changed the grammars. So verse 9 says, with what do a young man and woman purify her path? To observe according to your word. So we need to observe everything that God is speaking to us. Here till now, what we have done is, whenever we say command word, we intend to follow the Bible. It's someone's story. But that's not God wanted. God wanted to have a relationship with all of us, and he speaks to us continuously. And whenever he speaks, we need to observe. As we observe, we purify ourselves, means we will be restored back to the original condition. Verse 10 says, I have sought you with my whole heart. Let me not wander or err from your commands. So whenever God speaks to us, or he assigned us to do something, he gives a grace to fulfill it. He gives a power to do it. So you need to seek his face with whole heart. That means you have to completely put your heart towards him without any further, any agendas. So what happens is you will be focused what he is saying and you will fulfill it. Verse 11 says, I have hidden your words in my heart so I would not sin against you. So his words, we need to hide in his heart. As in the new covenant, he says, I'll write my words in his heart. Because heart is a very, delicate and very sensitive, very powerful thing in the kingdom. We are recognized by a heart. Okay. So what happened in the religious system, people minds have changed, their belief systems have changed, but heart has not changed. Once the heart changes, then the spirit realm will open to us. The many people who speaks many things, very intellectual things, but they have not seen anything of this unseen realm. Why? Because the heart has not changed. Heart is a key. Heart is a garden that we have lost in the beginning. So we need to spend time with the God. As we spend time with the God will change our heart. Okay. Heart is a very important, aspect of our life, because our heart is a direct seed of our children, our parents. So when our heart changes, our heart will be completely like Father's heart, because when he created a garden east of the Eden, his garden, Eden was his garden, and he created another garden with an intention. Our garden will replicate his garden. That means our heart will replicate his heart, because hearts has to be similar to do a task or to be who he is and who we are. So heart is a key. So we should focus on heart. Heart changes when you sacrifice. In the principle of the world is, when you sacrifice, your heart changes. Heart changes through fire, through sufferings. Mind, it only requires, studying. You need to study, you need to study, you need to study. Mind will change. But the heart requires circumcision. Mind, it says renew, but heart circumcision. That means sacrifice. Something need to be cut off. And whenever anything that cut off from our life, there will be a pain. Okay. So without pain, there is no gain. Those who want to be a greater in the kingdom, they have to be a least first. And to become least, it's a sacrifice. It's a painful process. So verse 12 says, blessed are you, Yahweh, teach me your statutes. Again, the statutes are his nature. So again, nature, statutes, I believe, belongs to heart. So we have to ask God to teach us, and he will teach us. Verse 13 says, with my lips, I have declared all the judgments, verdicts of your mouth. So whatever God says, what we hear in the secret place, what we hear as a small voice, we have to speak from the rooftops. Okay. So we have to declare everything God speaks to us. We have to declare. Okay. And as we are engaging the living letters, these letters will help us to declare. Okay. Verse 14 says, I have rejoiced in the way of your testimonies as much as in all riches. So there is a balance here. Okay, there's the riches that God gives, riches, the fullness of what we can enjoy in the life, but also testimonies. That means witnessing him. So it is a balance of both seen realm and unseen realm. Riches has to be seen realm. It can't be unseen realm. But the testimonies are unseen realm. Okay, so earth and heaven, you have to balance it. Verse 15, I shall meditate on your commands and have respect for your ways. I shall delight myself in your statutes. I will not forget your word. So this is the relationship. Okay. So I want you to engage and meditate these scriptures tomorrow under the Beit, so that by 22, when we finish 22 letters, there will be some kind of transformation, so that we can engage with the seven spirits. And we will, the purpose of engaging these 22 letters and the seven spirits, so that we will have a lechem. Lechem is our provision that comes from God. So whoever providing us, we will follow. Normally in world, people follow who provides us. So we have to come to a place where God is providing us, so that we can follow him. So I want you guys to chant at least 2 times, Beit. Okay. So Tony, can you start?
I'm in the bus, so
slowly do it. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. I see as we are engaging Beit, a house is being established. Okay, from the 4 corners on the rooftop, it is establishing a house. I suggest everyone open your first love gate and invite Beit to come and abode with you. so that you will be the house. The very purpose that God created Beit will establish in your life. Beit, we open the first love gate. Please come inside and dwell with us. Be a part of our DNA. Be a part of our being. Now let's engage with the Spirit of the Lord. Let's engage with the spirit of wisdom. Let's engage with the spirit of understanding. Let's engage with the spirit of counsel. Let's engage with the spirit of might. Let's engage with the spirit of knowledge. Let's engage with the spirit of the fear of the Lord.